Trump is declaring an emergency at the border, and they about to round y'all up and send y'all back home. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get it.
Tonight, President Trump taking action on what he said today was his top campaign issue, immigration and the southern border. He said the economy and prices were important, but that he still believes immigration was the bigger issue. The president declaring a national emergency at the border and saying deportations will begin. And tonight, the Mexican government now warning Mexicans in the U.S. what to do if law enforcement knocks on the door. ABC's Matt Rivers tonight in Tijuana.
Donald Trump is back.
I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
In responding to his threat to deport millions, the Mexican government today advising Mexicans in the U.S. to not open their doors for law enforcement unless necessary. Of the 11 or 12 million estimated to be in the U.S. illegally, roughly half are Mexican.
We are preparing in shelters. We are preparing in beds.
Many deported likely would be coming home after a decade or two in the U.S. Sources close to the plan say Mexico is prepping another 24 shelters with tens of thousands of beds, not enough to meet demand. So they're propped up by privately run shelters like Embajadores de Jesus in Tijuana.
Is it hard to prepare for something that you don't really know what it's going to look like?
It's called worst-case scenario planning.
So when it's done, this space will house up to 150 people at a time. The fact is, 150 more spots is nowhere near the need there will be when we see the kind of deportations that we're expecting.
President Trump today made seeking asylum much harder, canceling all appointments already set up by migrants. Kenia Alvarez, now in Tijuana, had feared as much.
Esa incertidumbre es la peor parte.
She says the uncertainty of not knowing how it's all going to end up. What will happen to the children? Will they return us here or back to our own country?
Ain't y'all ready to go home? Honestly, no, I'm asking a genuine question. At what point do you say, you know what? I need to return back to my home country. I need to return back to my home country, and I need to find out what's going on with Gam Gam. Gam Gam, I'm not sure how much longer she got to live. I want to make sure that she's taken care of. I want to make sure that they straight. You know what? We need to make Mexico great again. We need to make Venezuela great again. We need to make Guatemala great again. We need to make Haiti great again. Ain't y'all ready to go home? Honest to God, I'm just asking. At what point do you need to say, you know what? I want to go home, the place that I was born, place that my parents is from, and I want to make that place great again. Ain't y'all tired of living illegally? And that doesn't speak to the people that's actually over here legally. Shout out to the people that's over here legally. But ain't you tired of doing things the wrong way, knowing that society is going to eventually catch up to you? At what point do you say, I want to go home and fix the country where I'm from instead of freeloading on taxpayers here in the United States of America? And then you're going to have the people that say, well, you know, but I pay taxes and I do this and I do that. Congratulations. Congratulations. Did you come over here the right way and do it? I know drug dealers that pay taxes. They don't want what happened to Al Capone to happen to them. I know drug dealers that pay taxes.
If they're going to keep us in prison for who knows how long, if they take the kids away, all of that. Everyone here is waiting to see what's next, and today, they're just beginning to find out.
All right, our team on both sides of the border tonight. Let's go to Matt Rivers first. He's in Tijuana, Mexico. And Matt, we saw the cancellations of those existing asylum appointments today at the U.S. border. And the president of Mexico, how is she responding tonight? Has she responded to what we've heard already from President Trump on day one? Has she signaled?
Y'all president is not even Mexican. Isn't the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, Jewish? Y'all president is not even Mexican. How's the president of Mexico not Mexican? That's crazy to me. Your president is a woman and it's not even a Mexican.
Whether she's willing to cooperate with President Trump.
Yeah, David, we haven't heard from her yet. She will give a press conference tomorrow morning responding to all of this. But I can tell you there is mass fear and confusion tonight amongst the hundreds of thousands of migrants that are essentially now stuck here in Mexico. The government's saying they'll open up tens of thousands of additional shelter spots, but even that might not be enough. President Trump saying he wants to restart the Remain in Mexico program, which forces asylum seekers to stay in Mexico while their claims are processed. He also wants Mexico to step up immigration enforcement. But the thing about all that is you need Mexico's cooperation, and that became way more complicated tonight after President Trump formally declared certain cartels based here in Mexico as foreign terrorist organizations.
And what he also did was he also said that we're going to send our troops, the American troops that we usually deploy to other places, we're going to send them to the Mexican border, to the southern border, to ensure that if you decide that you want to fly over to Mexico or go through Mexico and you're going to go over here and come over here inside of the United States of America, you're going to be stuck there. Ain't no more catch and release. Ain't no more hanging out. Ain't no more, oh my God, I got to stay here because we shouldn't have family separation at the border. Well, then you can go with your family at the same time. And he's also ending birthright citizenship. Check it out.
Just mentioned high on the president's priority list is definitely immigration. Trump is declaring that national emergency at the U.S. southern border.
Trump's administration says it's the kickoff to his process to end birthright citizenship, but that would take a change to the Constitution. As Fox 13's Alejandro Guzman reports, that has some communities on edge.
It's expected to be a challenge, one that local immigration attorneys are taking with a grain of salt, considering you need both the House and Senate to be on board, which can be very hard to do. But the fear of losing loved ones to immigration policies is now a haunting reality for thousands of migrants here and their families.
I live in fear, but I have hope.
The fear of deportation has been a constant cloud hanging over Dora Poqui's family, especially now under the Trump administration. At 60 years old, she feels the weight of both hers and her husband's legal status. Her family's roots trace back to Mexico, her grandparents traveling as migrant workers when crossing the border was so much easier before settling in Texas, where she was born. Her husband has lived in the U.S. for many years without a legal status.
So you telling me that your husband came over here illegally and he been living over here all of this time without getting his papers? So you telling me you had the opportunity to get your papers after all of this time and now you want to get scared? Now you concerned. Now you going to try to figure it out. Now you going to get your life together. Is that what we doing? You had the opportunity to get your life together. Your husband had the opportunity to get his life together all this time, and now you want to figure it out. Time to go visit the motherland, baby. Time to go. Listen, I get it. I understand it. I know that it hurts. But listen, you can't. You know what disobedient begets? Disobedience. Disobedient begets disobedience. Your grandparents did it the wrong way, and guess who got to pay for that? The Bible say the kids pay for the sins of their parents. It was easier to do, so y'all did it. Y'all took advantage of it, and now you got to be. Don't get mad at Trump. Get mad at your parents. Get mad at his parents. Get mad at the grandparents. Get mad at the fact that y'all decided to come over here and do what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it. How you been over here illegally for that long? How is that possible? At some point, honestly, at some point, even drug dealers say, you know what, man? We done got away with this for too long. Every dope boy that I'd have never met in my entire life has all said, we got to figure out how to get out the game. The goal is to get out the game. Even if you dealing drugs illegally, nobody aspires to be a lifetime drug dealer and hopes to get commutated in their sentence. At some point, they be like, man, listen, and usually they do a dumb business. We got to start a record label. We got to do this. We got to do that. And sometimes it works, but most times it don't. And most of the time they get caught and they get arrested and they go to jail for the rest of their life before they get out the game. But at some point, even in their mind, they think to themselves, man, we got to figure out how to move this money. We got to set it up. We gotta make this amount and get out of the game, whatever. Illegal migrants into the United States of America has been so comfortable for so long to where they don't even feel compelled to try to become legal. They don't even try. Because for so long, we've allowed for people to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, that they've just been doing it. And so when you don't have no rules, guess what? When people come over your house, they smoke weed in your kitchen, they go into the living room and they step on your couch, they use it as a flop house, they don't take their shoes off at the door, they don't wash their hands before they go in the refrigerator, and they don't take care of business. And that's basically what America has been. America has been a flop house for everybody for so long that not only have they not respected our house, but they also expect for us to continue to put up with the nonsense.
I get a knot in my throat because I don't know if he's gonna go to work and not come home. You know, what's gonna happen? They're gonna stop him and he's gone.
They've been married for 10 years. Her fears about his undocumented status resurfacing as Trump takes over the Oval Office for a second term.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminals.
Angela Clip says that's the first thing he should have done instead of releasing the January 6 criminals. We can do more than one thing at the same time. He did both. He signed over 200 executive orders within 24 hours of taking office. Within 24 hours of taking office, we have over 200 executive. Guess what? We can get you up out of here, and we can release the people from January 6th. Biden certainly made sure that he pardoned all of his friends on his way out the door. Pre-pardoned, without them even being investigated or under investigation at all.